The C6 Consortium was a group of, at the very beginning, it was 11 community colleges that came together to try to bring innovative change to the region.
C6 is an acronym for Central California Community Colleges Committed to Change. The purpose of the grant was to help improve employment outcomes for disadvantaged students.
What that meant for the region was that we were going to redesign the way that we did, the way that we provided educational services to our career technical education students.
At the time that we wrote the grant in 2011, the Central Valley area had a 19% unemployment rate, and in some of our more rural communities it was almost 40% unemployment rate. We have very low educational attainment rates in the Central Valley, and particularly in our more rural areas where there's no one over the age of 25 who has a college degree. And so those factors were a huge part of why we felt like we needed to have some infusion of money that could assist us in helping to meet the needs of both employers who needed an educated workforce, as well as the citizens of the valley who needed the education in order to move into higher paying jobs that could sustain families.
So the three major pathways in our Department of Labor Taaccct grant that we focused on because we felt those were the opportunity for us to provide high skills for matching for high-paying jobs. The health sector, the alternative energy, and ag and manufacturing. So the ag and manufacturing, the ag part was the mechanized agriculture, which is your diesel heavy equipment. For manufacturing, it was maintenance mechanic and welding were the pathways primarily. For alternative energy, it was auto, including hybrid and solar. And then in the health sector, they had nursing, LVN, AIDS. They had a whole bunch of different pathways with that.
I am currently attending Bakersfield College, and I am in the program, the C6 Electronics program. And this program consists of learning, like a lot about electronics technology and the use of it.
I'm in the radiology program here at Fresno City, and so this is my first year. We're just finishing up our first year, so.
I'm currently at the Sense Cohort program provided by the College of Sequoias, a 18-unit class containing multiple forms of welding, as well as welding inspection and print reading.
Right now I'm doing mechanized agriculture, diesel technician, and compact power. I'm going to be certified in all three of them, and that's all quick process, less than a year, 2 semesters. It's fast. You come in, you go, you start working, make decent money. So it's a good path.
The single structure strategy was made up of 8 guiding principles, and those are integrated program design. In that, students would enroll in one program, so they wouldn't have options to be moving around from class to class or be moving around the college. Cohort enrollment, students would enroll in cohort to make sure that they had assistance from each other to move through the program, and they would be together the whole time. Block scheduling, the colleges were assigned to change the way that we offered the classes and block the schedule for the students so that the students would have the classes that they needed at all times. We were also going to compress the classroom time. So if a program was 18 months, for example, we compressed it down to 12 months so that the students would complete complete the programs faster than normal. Embedded remediation. Here we allowed basic skills people, our basic skills faculty, to come into the classroom and work with our CTE faculty to allow that we had contextualized learning, for example. So basic skills of math and English were part of the program. Increased transparency. We wanted to make sure that the programs that we had were advertised properly, and students knew right off the bat that they were going to be going into a program that was cohorted, the schedule was blocked, and they knew exactly what they were going to be paying for the program. Transformative technology. Here we did a lot of the open educational resources. So we, faculty got together and we developed textbooks, for example, in healthcare, and things like allow more classes via teleconferencing, for example, or putting more of the classes on a hybrid format so that the students would be able to access the classes online. Innovative student support services was another one of the principles that we had. And here the colleges, what they did is they developed a CTE counselor that was going to work only with CTE students.
The 8 guiding principles were based on research that at the time had been done on what helps students be successful. So there were several current research articles that we looked at that talked about students need focus. Students need a pathway that's very specific, very purposeful in order for them to be successful.
I think it's a good educational experience. I wasn't really sure what I was in for, but being in the program, it's taught me a lot: patience, discipline, hard work, and how to depend on your co-students and instructors. But I think it's a good decision that I made overall.
What interested me in it is the fact that I'm tired of having jobs. What I came here basically was to look for a career. And with this program, it can provide me in a career.
Well, it's got me employed for now. And it's just good to be back into an education environment, but not in the same sense as going to classroom with a bunch of 18-year-old kids right out of high school, you know.
The cohort idea is just perfect, you know, and the block scheduling, you know, they're all like a little family, you know, they come in together, and they're together for 18 whole weeks, and, you know, become friends, they help each other.
With this program it's the same group of 25 or so students, and we have the same classes, work in the shop together. At first, it's kind of quiet in here, but after 2 weeks or so, everyone starts to get to know each other. We start working in the shop together. We help each other out a lot, that's the main point. And we learn how to trust each other and know who does what and who could do what to just get work done faster and better.
That way you start to build a trust with a lot of people, and I think that's something that's really hard to do if you're bouncing in between groups of people all the time.
You get to know everybody. It's more personable. You become family, really good friends, and, you know, someone to study with, someone to talk to, you know, someone that just carries you and pushes you through it, and they know exactly what you're going through, what you're struggling with, and basically just help each other get through it.
If someone's struggling, hey, do you want me to stay after? Do you want to go over things? Do you want to meet somewhere? I feel like we all built that like bond, that closeness with each other.
And I think that, you know, you're with people who encourage you, you're with people who you study well together, and you can stay with those people. I think that's going to help your morale and help push you through the program. Because it can get a little bit hard at times, or you want to cry a little bit, but, you know, you just say, hey, put your big girl panties on, keep it moving. You know, you can't get too down about it.
As far as redesign of the program, we've gone to block scheduling to expedite our classes. So instead of a traditional class meeting Tuesday and Thursday from 8 to noon, we now meet Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 8 till noon, and we only go 9 weeks instead of a full semester. What I have found with that is it has really helped to keep the students on track, focused. When that class is done, then we start the next unit.
Well, for Monday through Thursday, we're in the shop and the classroom. We do about an hour and a half discussion, usually in the beginning of class, and then we'll work into the shop until the day's over. And on Fridays, we do computer labs, and we have math tests and whatnot, and MSSC training online.
Well, a lot of people think we're crazy because we spend all day here. It's like 14 hours a day that we're here, but I don't know, hopefully it's going to be worth it at the end.
I took the summer program, so our days were 12-hour days on Thursdays and Fridays, which was nice for me because I was prepping to kind of be a nurse anyways, so those are the hours I'm looking to work. And so having that kind of gives you a lot more experience than maybe going, you know, once for 4 hours or, you know, just a few hours here and there.
it was just really cool having an expedited way to get a good paying job. You know, like when I was going through the engineering curriculum, as I started out, I'm only like a year into it, but I have 6 more years to go before that kind of starts bearing fruits. And this program, you know, I could go 1 semester and get a decent paying job, you know, a good paying job, better than minimum wage. That was just really appealing to me.
I think students bail out of class for a number of different reasons, but in our program we really start losing them about the time that they really have some significant math work to do. And so that basic skill sometimes means the difference between a student staying in class and getting a completing grade, or we're just, you know, getting out of here and maybe doing something else.
When we look at remediation in our colleges, we look at that as basic skills. So those areas of reading, writing, math, and study skills that students need to be successful in college, whether it's in the CTE program or whether it's in another academic endeavor. What are those basic skills that students are lacking?
So some of the basic skill issues that I would see most often would be, you know, comprehension, understanding what they read, and reading their book and really getting a sense of what that content means to them, how to apply that content.
The basic skills absolutely are math, writing, and basic computer skills. They're must-haves. So we've embedded all those within our program and built the team around making sure that those basic skills are addressed.
So embedded remediation for us was something that took place within a class or a pathway that the students didn't have to go somewhere else to get, that addressed basic writing, reading, math, and study skills to help them be more successful.
We actually embedded a counselor within our department, within one of the buildings. We've found that sometimes students kind of lose their way between leaving where our classroom facilities are to go to where counseling is. They somehow get lost, or by the time they get up there, they lose their courage. And so by having someone that they got to meet with on a regular basis that knew who they were, knew what programs they were in, it really helped facilitate a strong relationship and helped encourage them to kind of make it to through their career goal.
Now working as an embedded counselor for the ag manufacturing sector, I work directly with the students only from our Taaccct grant program, which is very nice because I'm able to build that rapport with the students. I'm able to learn their names, they know me. My office is actually located centralized. It's centralized to the classrooms. And if students need anything, they know exactly where to find me. And again, it's very centralized to everything.
We had peer tutors. So we had students that either had previously taken the class or were kind of role model students in that class currently. And they would help during class time, kind of augmenting what the instructor did.
There's a TA basically in physics, a tutor that will help us with any questions, and will stay after class and, you know, help us figure out things that we're not understanding. And then you got the TAs, which are the tutors from positioning, and they'll help us with all the anatomy questions and the positionings and things that we're not understanding in that area.
We had Francis and Juan, and they were our 2 peer mentors. So they previously took the program last year. And excelled through it, and they've any kind of questions that we've had or anything like that, they've been immediate answers. They're always there, and they're very informative and helpful, so it's been great.
They were always helpful. They were also real friendly and approachable as well, which helped, so you're not scared of them. Some people say it's more scary asking the instructor for help than it is to go ask someone who's already been going through it for help, and they can help you.
What I like is that there's so much help from everywhere. You got like tutor sessions, you got teachers that are helping you. The students here too, a lot of them, you know, they're real good guys. So it makes the learning process so much easier. It makes it so much also more comfortable. You enjoy it, you know, if, you know, to a certain point. And that all those helps are there if you're willing, you know, to take them.
We also looked at things like habits of mind, which are those skills students need to be successful in college and life. And a lot of our colleges in California were implementing those kinds of things within a classroom. So we looked at those things and how we could do that.
I think what's been really good is that students have never really learned how to learn and how to study and how to manage their time and how to, how to prepare. And they don't know the reasons why you need to be active on campus and you need to connect with the college. So Habits of Mind has a bunch of different facets that help create kind of a whole learner, as opposed to, okay, here's a study skills class, and here's a note-taking class, and here's a time management class. We still have those on campus, but this sort of puts it in a big package, and students have an app they can download that helps them out.
The presentation that we were talking about in the class was about habits of mind, and that is a few skills that you can use not only for C6 but in all of your other classes in general. It teaches you how to study, how to be prepared, and what to expect in your classes, especially at a college level. It's so different compared to high school. Habits of Mind, like they were saying in the presentation, it's online as well, and you can pull it up on your app on your phone.
Another one that emerged for us was doing a flipped classroom model, which looked different in different places, but basically it's instead of using the classroom as a time to do all of your lecturing, you change that up and students get that information somewhere else in the class. You do more of the consulting part for the teacher to help them understand the information better. And so we have a couple models of how that looked in what we did.
We've started this new thing where we, as the students, as the class body, get to go up and they'll select chapters for us, and then they just divvy the chapter up and we'll make small little groups within the classroom. And we'll each have our own particular section, and we'll present that to the class. I feel that it's very effective. I think it's helped us a lot, versus the teacher just being up there and just kind of just giving the spill, or maybe, so half the class maybe falling asleep, etc.
The student teaching, we each individually get a section in the chapter, and we have to stand up in front of class and discuss our portion in detail, give a little examples, something to help everyone else understand it. Because you're basically teaching the class and helping them know and give them little tidbits on how to remember certain things. I found it helpful. Our whole class got 30 A's on tests twice out of 31 people, so that's pretty good. So it shows that it worked.
Part of transformational technology for the grant was to also, part of it was we needed to provide resources for students that were open, OER, open education resources. And so students were to be able to get books and materials for classes at low or no cost to them as a part of the grant. And so so we did that early on, and there were several books that were developed. The Taaccct, which is basically a psychiatric nurse. The colleges working on that, they worked collaboratively together and created a textbook. So they all use the same textbook, and it's all online. So we also created a physical therapy aid open education book. And that was authored by one of our other colleges, and working collaboratively, because physical therapy aid was a brand new certificate and there was no book. So we had one other book we were supposed to do. It's our basic skills resource book for CTE faculty, basic skills faculty, colleges to use. And it's designed just for these specific pathways, because that's what we did.
Colleges now are seeing students stay in the classroom. They are seeing better completion rates. You have Merced College, for example, that has like an 80% completion rate compared to a 20% completion rate before.
In some of our manufacturing programs, they've gone from 10 to 15% completion rates to when we've moved to the C6 model, they now have 75 to 85% successful completion rates. It's like completely the opposite, where before it was 15 to 20% completed, now it's 15 to 20% don't complete. And so, and that is true across all the spectrums, particularly in manufacturing and alternative energy.
So with the tutoring and the counseling, the other elements that we added with the 8 guiding principles, we really saw an increased improvement in completion. And in that completion time, was 1 year versus multiple years. And they improved with their GPA as well.
Just based on student feedback, I feel very confident and good about the strategy of the embedded effect, and it's been successful. I've seen through my own evaluations and from student feedback that it is good.
The quantitative data alone indicates the success, but when you support it with the student stories and I think most everybody's talked about that, the relationship building that happens in the cohort model, the sense of family and the sense of sharing.
We have many success stories from students that entered employment after they graduated from the programs, and they credit a lot of it to implementing the basic skills into the classroom, being able to graduate faster, and having that counselor that was working with them the whole time. So I think the strategy as a whole worked very well for our students.
I had a student come in just a few weeks ago who's employed, who was a former student, and I had the other students around me at our demonstration booth, and he came in and he said, "I just wanted to thank you for changing my life." And I wasn't really sure what he meant, but he'd been employed and he'd been in a nowhere situation, maybe low wage, poor family type environment, and all of a sudden he's making $15 an hour with a 401k package and health care, and he was overwhelmed with it, and he came to me and shared that story with me, and it almost seemed like a different person. He left as a 19-year-old kid, and he came back with a 30-year-old appearance with a maturity that was just off the charts.
I think it's going to be helping me and my family because after I graduate, I'll be working and I'll be making decent money, so I can help my parents, with all the bills, rent, financially. So I think that's mainly how it's gonna help me, and then it's gonna help me succeed in life, because I don't have to stay as a tech. I can later on become a manager, supervisor, sales representative, or something else, especially with the AES degree.
I know that almost anywhere I go, I'll find a job in that field. Like I said, I really love it. I could feel it in my blood. So I really enjoy, coming every day and just getting to the task of learning new things. And as my family, I'll be able to help them.
It's helped me quite a bit because after 4 years of cashiering, I love the people I work with, but I'd like to pursue a career that's on a higher paycheck, unfortunately, but pursue a career that, that for the most part will provide financial independence, being able to provide an adequate, steady support that will allow me to live independently, continue my educational pursuits, but at the same time, it will actually provide a career that it's sort of a sense of pride, if you will.
I was a single mom going through the program, and so life was a little difficult, especially being a student. And now I'm employed as a registered nurse at a local hospital, and I love it, and I'm financially stable and able to provide for my children, and they were able to see my hard work and dedication and the results that you get from going to school and what that gets you. So it was a very good learning lesson for my children, and worth every struggle and heartache during the time. So it's been very beneficial.
It's been very fun to hear stories about student success. And when I go to the colleges, every college talks about how students are more successful now because of the tutors, or because of we implemented this or we implemented that. It's really all of the 8 principles together.
It was very positive. It really created an environment where the student felt we cared about them, that there was an invested interest for them to be successful. And with that in mind, then there's more of a camaraderie, so to speak, in terms of the student feeling engaged, feeling that they are appreciated, and yet this instructor really wants us to do well.
We have sustainability plans in place, and we hope that the majority of the colleges continue to do the work that they started with the project. Most of them have agreed that they will continue to do the work, and they have sustainability plans, like I said. Funding is coming from many different sources now, instead of just this grant project, but many of them have seen such big changes in retention and recruitment and completion that they want to continue the strategies the way that we've implemented with the grant. So I think that we in the Central Valley, we will see colleges continue to practice some of the same things that we implemented with this project.
Well, it's helping me. It's getting me on a good path. It's gonna get me out there in the field, start making some money. My parents could they could be proud. Being a little more financially, I could be financially dependent. I could pay for my own stuff, so that money they used to spend on me, spend it on my brothers or save it, so that helps them out a lot.
I'm going to be definitely making twice as much as I'm making now. And then the fact that with the job security that this field provides, like, it's going to help me in so many ways. Like, I'm so thankful for this program.
Being a part of the program is going to help me and my family extensively. I have 2 little ones at home, and I am married happily, and I can't wait, because we're getting everything done, with my occupation now. But once I graduate, as a CRT, and I go through this program, it's going to help us in many ways, not only financially, but I feel like we'll be able to live a more comfortable life, and it's just going to be really rewarding. So what I waited for all this time is finally going to be here in 14 more months. So I can't wait, and I just feel like I'm blessed to be a part of this program.
I feel I'm going to do it a semester at a time, but I think once I finally get to that point and I do graduate, oh my goodness, I probably won't be able to go across the stage. I might be like in a corner, like doing the ugly cry, like I can't believe I made it, I'm old and I'm up here.